This is an old shrub rose. It's Rosa xanthina hugonis. Very similar to Rosa xanthina canary bird, but I think it flowers better. It's less available on the market and it flowers for longer. It's got the same sort of lemon yellow flowers, single flowers in spring. It gets covered in flowers. It's got very pretty autumn colour and a small leaf. It's very thorny. This one's been here for 30 plus years, and you can see some of my old pruning cuts. Every few years I take out one of the really old stems or two of the really old stems to make way for the new stems, because eventually the old stems become unproductive. It's time now to at the very least cut this stem out and this stem out, but once I've taken those stems out, I may well stand back and look at it and take this whole stem out to there. In doing that, that will encourage new fresh growth because it won't have these old stems to support. So any of the bone meal or the mulching that we put on top of the roots around the rose will go into producing new shoots. It'll have these new shoots to support, and then the old shoots won't be there, so it'll have a surge of good food in the roots coming up to give you new stems. That was pretty successful, and as you can see, that wood is dead, so this stem had completely died. No moisture in the cambium layer just behind the bark. That worked very well, leaving a bit of a stump there, but hey ho. The next one is this one. These pruning saws are actually brilliant because they give a really clean cut. Another piece which has very little life in it at all. You can see there's a bit of life on the end here. There's a bit of life on the end here, but most of this branch is supporting dead wood now. So it's definitely time that went. Now I have a look and see what's left. Not the most pleasing of shapes. This one is definitely alive. So it will be looking slightly sparse next year. It'll be looking all the better for it the year after. So this stem has got to be sacrificed. 90% of it is dead. When it throws up a new shoot, it's coming from lower down on the bowl. And I don't want this sort of lumpy bit obstructing new shoots. Like that's making a really pleasing shape at the top. Now this is bent out a bit, probably because this bit and this bit was left filling the centre of the bush, and I want fresh growth filling the centre of the bush.
Oh, we're going all the way through.
Oh yes, that's a good clean cut. Quite a big tough bit of wood to get through, but that's much preferable to getting the chainsaw out, because a chainsaw leaves a more jagged cut, more prone to getting disease, yep, more prone to problems. So that was a tough bit to cut, but it's a very quick rose to do. That's finished. I'm not pruning any of the top of it. That's done, and I've already given it its autumn mulch. So once I've cleared the roof debris away, I might give it a little bit more, but it doesn't need it. It's already had its food for winter. And that's a good job done. This is Rosa moisei geranium. It's an old sort of suckering shrub rose that has these lovely bottle-shaped hips. And you can see at the bowl at the base where I've taken previous cuts back from old wood, and it's similar to Hugonis, apart from the suckers on this one are true. to the type. So on Hugonis, the suckers that come up away from the bowl are not true to the type, they come from the rootstock. These are true to the type. So to prune this, you leave the newer arching stems, because that's its whole graceful habit, is it comes up and it arches over, and it has those lovely single flowers and then the bottle shaped hips. But you take out the older stems, so you're constantly renewing. You're leaving some of the middle-aged stems in, and you start by looking for dead, diseased or dying bits. See this one, it's got a lot of black running down the stem. It's actually dead to here, and then there's a bit of fungal disease or something in the base of it. So that comes to this stem as well. So I'm going to take that out completely down at the base. I've taken out those two stems. So now I'm looking up at the top. This stem is dead down to there, and it's diseased there. So it certainly gets cut to there. I may yet take this whole stem out. This again has a lot of death on the top. That's dead, that's dead, that's dead, that's dead. So I will shorten it. It's a bit like this old stem that I've just cut out. On previous years you can see where I'd shortened it, and it was doing its flowering much lower down as opposed to arching up and doing its flowering at the top. See those orange pustules? So I'm going to get my loppers and I'm going to come back and I'm going to chop those out because they've got coral spot on it. So coral spot goes. Coral spot normally only attacks dead wood. It can spread into live wood, so it's best to take it out whenever you see it. And that stem is damaged beyond repair. So he goes. Yeah, I wouldn't go attacking this bare-handed. It's they're quite thorny, these species roses. They're very good for hedgerow roses as well. If you've got a gap in a hedge, a Rosa moisei is a fabulous thing to put in the hedge. It'll fill that gap. It'll give you a completely different attraction. The hips attract the birds. I'm a definite advocate of not having a hedge of all the same species. This type of rose does move about. It was planted there and it's slowly suckering and filling an area. It will throw up more suckers from the middle if it's tidied up and cleaned around properly. I think I'm largely finished, but you have to walk round what you've done a few times, and if you see something that's obviously crossing or is going to become a problem, nip it out. But I think that's looking, for the type of rose it is, that's looking pretty good in my opinion. And that's the way it's going to stay. This one is one of David Austin's more recent introductions. It's called Tottering by Gently, which is a lovely name. It's got single yellow flowers. It's a Floribunda style rose, as you can see, multiple blooms on one head, and it goes flowering throughout the season. To get more blooms, you deadhead through the season, but if you don't deadhead it, you end up with those beautiful hips. I could leave them on through winter. Now, for this style of rose, you cut it back by half. You get the average height, the average height of the bush is about there, and you cut it back by half. So I'm going to be cutting to about this level, and then I'm going to cut out the spindly bits in the middle. Yet I'm probably going to leave these bits with their hips on until later in the winter and prune them back at the end of winter. now I'm looking for little spindly bits that haven't really been as good as they should have been. That's a lovely strong stem, he definitely stays. That's a little weedy thing, so if I can find the base of it, I can see where I'm cutting. And there's another damaged bit there. Right, so this just now needs a tidy round, pull off the last of the leaves, and that's it, done. I'll come back late winter, and I'm hoping these hips will colour up, turn red, and will be looking really nice through Christmas, January and February.